You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus, cover me. Cover me head, Satan want me dead. Cover me back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet, so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me. Cover me. Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. Oh Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother. Cover my sister. Them who under pressure. Cover the preacher. Every church worker. The young believer, cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister, cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me. Cover me. Cover me. Cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase.
Welcome to Sunday Talk Politics. Let's talk politics. This is Uncle Tommy. I'm here with you on this Sunday, the 5th of October, thanking you for spending the time with us. Professor Wall Street is going to be a little late, or maybe not even here, but we'll carry on. We have special guests for you. But before we get to that, let's listen to some of this.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life, and as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes, we pledge to bring the truth and nothing but the truth. Listen some more.
You're tuned to WZYE, the heartbeat of unfiltered truth. We're more than a station, we're a movement, grounded in facts, driven by integrity, committed to progress. We don't chase headlines, we create them. Decoding politics and current affairs to question power, not cozy up to it. From Laventille to Scarborough, whether you're in your living room or your commute, this is where perspectives collide, divides dissolve, and tomorrow's conversations start today. WZYE, we originate, not imitate.
Here's our pledge to you.
Ansam LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
And I thank each and every one of you for being here with us. We can be reached as soon as you get in. Remember to share the live. As soon as you get in, share the live. And we can be reached at this number, 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. We'll go to the chat and see what's shaking. Okay, so first in the chat today, we'll see who it is. Troy Smith. Is it Troy Smith first? It's been a long time, Troy. It's been a long time. We had Troy here first. And then after that, we had Mr. Intellectual. After that, we had Uranus McFarlane. After that, we had Miss Santa Cruz Anna Mansami. And then Capitan. Where have you been, Capitan? Miss Cuva. And F again, Capitan. Monica Ramkisoon. Good evening to all of you. And thank you for being here with us. The professor is going to be maybe a little later. He'll be here if he can get away. Other than that, my special guest has just entered, and I'm going to bring him in right away. I'm not going to waste any time. Welcome, 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 special guest. Welcome, COP. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon to you, Uncle Tommy.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, I can hear loud and clear.
And thank you for being here with me.
And good afternoon. That's important. Good afternoon to Professor Wall Street and the family. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Hoping to have a A bumper program today. Good afternoon to all the listeners and them, all the foreign callers, all the Trinidad and Tobago callers. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Uncle Tommy, what a hot sunny day in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
We have to thank the Lord for it, because it could be worse.
If you take a piece of cassava and you put it in some water and you just push it out in the hot sun over there and you go back 2-3 hours, that cassava go boil. I'm telling you.
Guess what? It could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
So we give thanks for every single day, every single situation.
Everything. But you know, Trinidadians, when the sun hot, we ball, oh gosh, the sun hot. When rain fall, we ball, oh gosh, the rain falling.
So what we really want?
Well, we just want sun and rain. Sun and rain have countries. Again, what we have in. We have sun and rain, and we have to make that do. We have to enjoy that.
Every day.
Every day we have to enjoy that.
Even if we get snow, we have to enjoy it.
Yeah. I say, a little snow in Trinidad might be nice, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, a little snow in Trinidad would be nice. Or look at Lenwy some. Some.
Definitely, we will do that.
I would like to see Miss Santa Cruz playing in the snow in Trinidad. In Santa Cruz down there.
What's the situation with the hurricanes? Anything coming?
No being no hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah, me not more no hurricane. I pay attention to the weather pattern at all. I only pay attention to the
That's good. Yeah. It's just that when temperatures are high and systems come over from Africa, they get fuel with the high temperature.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What's going on in politics today?
Well, Uncle Tommy, everything going nice. Everything going nice in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We just getting some distraction. We just getting some distraction by the PNM side. You see the kind of question they're asking? No. They say the Ministry of Utilities owing $6 billion. Marvin Gonzalez asking where they're going to get out. He asks, how come after 10 years under the administration, they owing $6 billion? They had to pay here and pay there. What happened? PNM wasn't paying no bills?
It looks so.
Uncle Tommy, the kind of question they ask really ridiculous question. It's like they're exposing themselves. It's like they're telling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that, hey, for we 10 years, we are doing nothing in no ministries. We pay with who we supposed to pay. We just pay workers and we spend out all their money. That's what they're telling me, Franco Mentana.
Well, what you'll take is what you'll get.
Well, me ain't taking that at all. And I like how the Minister of Utilities and
we have a call. Let's take this call. Let's take this call. COP.
Yeah, go ahead.
KFC, you're live.
Hi, good afternoon, Uncle Tommy and Mr. COP.
Welcome.
Pick up what you do about here. I know you things to do.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Wall Street and COP, I want to say, I will grab my MP this afternoon. When she kind of lighten up. But, you know, them time coming up Diwali, so all the Hindu community happy Diwali.
Shub Diwali.
Mr. Wall Street and Uncle Tommy and all the brothers who locked on listening. Well, but I know told you we have a bumping show today, so I just locked on listening, so I inside. When Tunji the brothers go up and play on the TV, then they send the message to Tunji, and I want to come up and take in a good show.
Thank you, KFC.
For all the people and them who saying KFC and the minister is pulling good. KFC and the minister is one. KFC give the minister 100% support, and the minister give KFC 100% support. Uncle Tommy.
Yep.
And to me, them thing nice to see, because people should have the opportunity to not to condemn and not to criticize, but to speak their mind with respect. And I get that from KFC when he's speaking, because he don't be rude and he don't be disrespectful. Let me say good afternoon to the B-Tom, Anderson and the crew.
KFC calling back.
Good afternoon,
KFC calling back. Hold on, COP.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
KFC.
good afternoon, Uncle Tommy and COP again.
Yeah, KFC.
You know that the screenshot, that I know screenshot, and I try to tell him back, and I me and the minister, or be the minister understand it. Because they have the work to do, you know. Everybody looking for the bread. So when a man come out and talk, we've been talking about disrespectfully and trying to bring down the government and drag the minister, but a man looking for bread, so them screaming, and they getting their bread, and the vex when somebody talk the mind. So all them was screaming, or they screaming that's to the minister. Good afternoon, minister, everybody is continue doing the hard work, and pray to the checks on them and give them the check and I know that are challenges with the print of the check. So I have tomorrow they'll be in the check on that. So bless.
Thank you. Thanks for call. Yes, COP.
The work the Minister of Social Development doing, I give she 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for the work that she's doing. For the destruction that this lady come in and meet, and to trying to solve those problems and them, I give she 10 out of 10 for the work that she's doing. And the assistance that she assists on the media.
Let's take this call.
Take the call, Uncle Tommy.
Follow you live.
Greetings, Uncle Tommy and COP.
Hey, how you doing, Defender? Welcome.
Thank you. I just want to digress a little bit on an important topic that I want to bring up, right?
Go ahead.
The murder toll last year, up to this date, was 475 murders. This year, as we speak, is 270. That is 200 people, Uncle Tommy and COP, life was spared. And that seems to not be a no front page, no news article. And Uncle Tommy and COP, I realize this government is just not fighting against the PNM. They are fighting against the fourth estate. They are fighting against these bloggers on Facebook. They are fighting against, in other words, these PNM propagandists.
Exactly.
And we as right-thinking citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago have to stand up and be counted. Because Uncle Tommy, I saw something happen on Friday, right? With the prosthetic leg camp started in Trinidad and Tobago. And Uncle Tommy and COP, I didn't see creed, I didn't see race. I see a country come together to help all these people who could not walk and give them a little hope in life again. And Uncle Tommy and COP, the fourth estate did not run with this like something happened in our republic.
Well,
so we as foot soldiers have to stand up and let us, as Eric Williams said, let me chase these PNM propagandists out of town. So I just want to bring it from the angle this afternoon and take all your mind and all your thoughts about what you think about these two topics I brought up. It's only evening, I'll come back later on.
Thank you. COP.
Uncle Tommy, this guy they call Defender, we should give you 10 out of 10 again. Because
oh yeah.
I always tell him that his contribution wouldn't benefit Trinidad and Tobago, but it will benefit the future of this country. Since Thursday, now let me go to the first contribution. The least murder we have is from the 28th to April coming down. That's why we had 200 and something. We saved back a lot because the government and national security was doing the work. They was doing the work. When last we hear about home invasion and thing, a few months now, we are hearing about them things, you know, because national security doing the work. And Uncle Tommy, since Thursday, it had a big tent. It had a set of tent, and they established themselves in by the Diwali Nagar, which part they started assist the vulnerable with hand and foot and who are 1 foot and 1 hand and limbs and things, they're assisting them. You know them they're coming on the news? Over 800 disabled citizens of this country, and they're introducing the Caribbean St. Vincent and Grenadines and things to the all the come in and be part of this too. Bring all the people them over here, we assist them. And they even building a factory to build foot and hand and all kind of thing for people, you know? Uncle Tommy.
That's very positive. That's very
Camille
positive.
Robinson Regis was going to quiet these days. Penelope Beckers and Gaspy Dolly and Stuart Young and Faris Alwari, all they should do what Rohan Sinanan doing, keeping him out hush and stay quiet. Because what you want from a government? You want a government to represent people in time of need and help the vulnerable and the needy. That is the vulnerable and the needy, Uncle Tommy.
Absolutely.
It have husbands and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers, even children, sit down in the house with 1 foot. They can't buy a wheelchair. They don't have a walker. And they sit down for months and for years home. And we never see this kind of love and this kind of passion and this kind of empathy and this kind of security for the vulnerable from the PNM. From since 1956 is everything take, tax. To hell with them. Who live, and who dead. That was the PNM attitude towards the citizens of this country. How passionate it is to see a female prime minister become prime minister in 5 months' time. And the man who could not walk for 10 years, you know, he walking today, Uncle Tommy? Because Mommy Kamala assists them, she do what she's supposed to do. The responsibility of a prime minister is to bring representation to the people.
KFC is calling back again. Let's see what KFC has to say. Go ahead, KFC.
Good afternoon, COP and Uncle Tommy. We are still congratulating the government of India too, and this government for bringing artificial post. Because we are diabetic, you don't let us start out chop up at two. And after that, chop off the limbs.
Yeah.
And they could walk again. We are the congratulate the government. Before I start bringing that, you know, they're bringing them nasty, wicked PNM and bring down the government. That promise, the government deliver to go in the right direction. We just waiting for the budget and everything to get back and start to work again. We go build back this country. We don't want to be PNM, and that put more ads in program like this and other programs who currently that look at the business of the government. Because before they didn't give the government the airplane or doing propaganda and lies and fool the people. So we have to defend the government anyway, any means necessary.
On the radio.
You understand, Mr. Washington, Uncle Tommy? So we have to fight. We can't lapse with the government like 2010 to 2015. Because they're like rational. That's come and propaganda and lies and all kind of thing in it. Bless.
Bless. Thank you.
They don't like nobody. They like the self. They like the opportunities that this country have. That's what they like. They like to recuse the self. And Professor Walshit had to, when he come on program, he had to explain the definition of when recusing yourself. You know? Because you can't tell me it's a conflict of interest for family members to gain millions of dollars from the family ministry that them control. And all the minister had to do is to recuse himself, and that is not a conflict of interest. But he's the minister. If they give somebody else it, the person can get fired. Who to give that?
Yeah.
That's recusing yourself.
Let's listen to this voice note here and hear what this caller is saying.
Well.
Hey, a pleasant good evening to you, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy, and all the listeners. I'm happy to announce that we are all looking forward for the budget of all budgets. Yes. That we've never been seen since 56 years ago. A budget that will change the landscape of all politics. Transparency over corruption, justice over injustice. Yeah. And though injustice seems to prevail for a time, and yes, it does, but at the end, right and justice will prevail. And we shall see it by the budget that is coming up. Let's all look forward for it. Yeah, a people-centered budget, right? A people-focused budget by a woman of empathy and care and love for the people I've never seen by anyone. Yeah, woman of great transformation. So we look forward for this budget. I announced to all my people, let's get ready, right? The opposition is very scared because this budget going to expose a lot of these corrupt people, yeah, that have interfered with the economy and broken down our economy. But we have a woman that's standing firm, a woman of courage, Garrison, daring, bold, yes. Doesn't care what the opposition have to say. She's just doing her part. She's focused. She don't like noise. And she's quiet right now, doing her part together with her team. So I say unto you, Professor Wall Street, let us give our Prime Minister and our whole team a grand round of applause, right, for such dedication and devotion to justice. Bless.
I would like to hear him say what you want to see come out of the budget, what you would like. Take the call, Uncle Tommy, and all the callers, all the other help you and this program plenty today, you know.
Call from New York.
Yeah, take the call. Take the call, Uncle Tommy.
Let's hear this. Let's hear this, COP. Call you live.
Good evening, Mr. Tommy. Good evening, Mr. COP. Good evening, Mr. Anslim. Whereby yes, good evening to all the callers, all the texters, everybody on the live. I'm happy to see everybody here on this Sunday. Through our God grace. So you see, let me explain something how business does run, right? And I want people to understand that this budget that the UN is going to do is to balance the economy. So don't come and say you expect honey and milk and thing in this budget. This budget is the balance of the economy before it kicks off. So don't give people the hope that this budget is to elevate everybody. They cannot help everybody right now. This is just to balance the economy. Because it's 10 years the PNM destroyed this economy in Trinidad. You know? So you see, we have to face reality. That is reality. But the budget will be a people-centered budget, but they will try to help the most vulnerable first. And these the expectation, because you see, I realize what people doing. People putting this UNC government in a higher bracket than PNM, and we could do it, but not after 10 years of this PNM. First, let me get back a little investment in the country. Let me get some money flowing in the country, and then we could expect a budget of milk and honey. You know. So we have to be responsible and understand what's going on. And because, you see, the PNM sycophants does only sing when UNC win, everybody win. Yes, everybody will win, but it's not overnight. God takes 6 days to make the earth, and he rests on his 7th. So we have to understand it's a process the UNC had to do, and it will get done. So let me don't put them on a pedestal as yet, because they had to balance the economy. And Mr. COP, I know it's hot in Trinidad, you see your was snow. You want more alcoholics in Trinidad? You know if that snow fall, people will drink it. All right, but Mr. COP, Mr. Tommy, it will be a great program. Look on this then.
Thank you, Mr. Florida.
Yeah.
Uncle Tommy, let me say good afternoon to Mr. Florida. This budget must be a budget for the ground. It must have a construction boom. People must have purchasing power to generate by that economy. People must have purchasing power. People must be working. Uncle Tommy, URP, CPEP, they must restructure it and have the ground people them working. Once people could get a salary and they could go to the shop, they could go to the groceries, they could go to the store cloth, they could go to the business place. That is how we build the economy, by giving people purchasing power. I believe that. Construction boom. Make sure people working. And they'll build the economy. Don't fire people. That's what the PNM do. You know, Faris Alwari and them saying the government done fire 30,000 people already. Uncle Tommy?
Well, it's propagandist. Everybody is propagandist in the PNM, you know.
Uncle Tommy, if you working for my company, Bill Bryce Construction, right? And I have 100 workers, and I lost my contract. The government fired the workers on them?
No.
I lost my contract. I don't have no other job for my workers on them.
That's it.
The CPEP workers on them wasn't working for CPEP. They was working for Eastman Enterprise. And they was working for the company that had the CPEP contract. And you could tell me, most of the people and them look like they say the fire people in the Ministry of Sports. How? The PNM, the evil party, the evil, vindictive, wicked, deceitful, callous, ungrateful party, they call the PNM. People in this country was working for 3 years contracts, and 3 years contract. When PNM come in, PNM started giving people them 6 months contract and 3 months contract. Until they started get 3 months contract, 3 months contract. If the PNM did so care, it had the money to pay them for the 3 months contract and then extend it for 3 months contract and extend it for 3 months contract. Why don't make them permanent? So that nobody can fire them. And your responsibility was to create that opportunity for the working class. You're not telling the people and them, the people contract up. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Hold your thought, yes. Hold your thought, COP. Hold your thought. Let's answer this call. Caller, you're live.
Yes, I greetings again, Uncle Tommy and COP.
Go ahead, move
well, Uncle Tommy, I sit on this program for more than a year, right?
Yes, Defender.
And I hear Professor Worship asks, bring one innovative idea PNM brought, and nobody never bring none, right?
True.
But let me tell you something now. Worship, Uncle Tommy, under the last 10 years, PNM encouraged people to walk around with 30 grams of marijuana, right? Listen to me carefully, right? 30 grams of marijuana, 4 trees you can plant, right? But not everybody who's smoking marijuana gonna plant trees so that they buy it somewhere, Uncle Tommy.
True.
You know what this government do? This government decided, boy, hear what? Let me start in the medical marijuana field. Control all the land, have all the weather. But Canada is do medical marijuana, but they can't plant all around the year because it has snow, it is cold. So our government decide to bring in a Canadian expert to help us start up with medical marijuana. That is innovation. Not getting people weed to smoke, turn them into businessmen and businesswomen. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You getting people weed to smoke, but I think but weed is illegal. So our government decide, all right, or you get them 30 grams, 4 trees, let me turn them into businessmen. Because that is to stimulate the economy, Uncle Tommy, because at the end of the day, we can't be dependent on gas and oil for the rest of our life.
I am
St. Vincent, imagine St. Vincent 10 years behind us. And St. Vincent already doing medical marijuana.
What about Dominican Republic?
Exactly, Uncle Tommy, the only point they're trying to make. But our ex-prime minister get them weed to smoke. You saw backward and be, and them don't care about nothing. Enjoy the Uncle Tommy and COP.
Thank you, Defender.
And today in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it has pushers in school now. School children carrying bags of weed. And you can see 10, 15, 20 ounces of weed separated. Selling in school. And that is what Keith Rowley, Stuart Young, Faris Alwari, and Fitzgerald Hines do. Never put a limit and say, hey, we decriminalizing marijuana. Mothers and fathers, if only underage children get hold with this, only you have to pay the penalty, because all you have a responsibility to bring all the children the right way and let them know what is right from wrong.
Correct.
Uncle Tommy, by having police in school, they even, I see on the news, Uncle Tommy, they catch a teacher with cocaine. How much teachers again in school with this? And the PNM and them fighting, they don't want police with gun in school. If it have block in school and it have gang in school, let me say them, that young boy that they catch the other day with about 17 ounces of marijuana, so big so in the bag. 17 bag big so. Let me say the gang leaders and them come for that. Because it's 2 police alone that have over there, and hey, they're taking we high grade marijuana from the children and from the boys and them who selling out that to the school children and them. And it's only 2 police, they know it's only 2 police with no gun. What could happen?
They could rush them and take it.
They can rush in and they got the bad man are gone. They know the police are not gone in the school. Uncle Tommy, the destruction that Keith Rowley, I'm not saying the PNM, I'm saying Keith Rowley administration inflict on the citizens of this country. This government can't fix that in a year time. They can't fix that destruction in a year time. They need more time than that. It takes 10 years for the PNM to destroy this country, and we expect Auntie Kamala and the UNC to fix it in 5-6 months' time. That's what you expect as citizens of this country.
Very unrealistic.
Especially them PNM supporters, and that all they know to do is to criticize, condemn. They have a program on YouTube. They spread the propaganda like if it's the truth, they're selling. The more or they lie and try to fool the future of this country just to have the PNM in power is the more betrayal to humanity. No good for this country, the PNM. No good. And these callers and them outside over there, all they help me over here today for all feel like get me horse. And I'm talking. All be part of this program and show Professor Wall Street, all let us be part of the program too, you know.
As soon as they get in,
good afternoon. Miss Santa Cruz, good afternoon to you. And good afternoon to all the listeners and them locked on WZYE 95.9. Always share the live, and subscribe. That's important.
And call us. You can call us here at 973-609-6509. Let us know what's on your mind. That's 973-609-6509. And we thank you. Thank each and every one of you. And I want to say special thanks today to COP for being in here with us, because he's always very much knowledgeable and insightful when it comes to matters concerning Trinidad and Tobago. And we appreciate him so very much.
Uncle Tommy, you drive wrong. All right, let me put it this way. Right now, we want tourists in our country. We want tourists. Take the call, Uncle Tommy.
KFC's calling back.
Take the call, KFC. KFC, good afternoon to you, KFC.
Go ahead, KFC.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Watson and Uncle Tommy. You know why the class in this budget? It's still them lapidated schools in them PNM area that they declared the last 9 years. All of the they come out in the 2000 report for the UN. Say that one to them report for that. It's that school president Skip Scotland office. I would like that school to fix. St. Philip School to fix. Because you never come to start with the when she was the 10 to 2015, or Chibe Rose School, or Story School. PNM doesn't build schools in the areas. They rather give them 30 grams of marijuana, scrapping the laptop program. We come to start bringing it back. They try to keep the support of them fully done. So much training. Thank God for the post in school now. You listen to the fighting and the bullying and things. The whole students with the drug trade, the carrying marijuana in school, teachers with cocaine. So we're cracking down on that. So we want to educate the population. The PNM try to keep a advanced population. Check the history. It doesn't educate the people and them. Just be PNM until you're dead. So we defend the government. We have a 4-5 terms to bring back this country. We can do it in 5 years alone. So I love to understand you're going for the break there. Bless. Aisha, when she can call in, and Aisha will be a part of the program. We're calling all the out. Don't be outside and listen behind the scene. Come out now. Bless.
Thank you. Yes, COP. You know KFC.
Uncle Tommy.
Go ahead.
Tommy, in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, if we had to say thank God in this country that we have a political party called the UNC. Because if we didn't have the UNC, we wouldn't have college and secondary schools and things in this country much. We would have primary school and junior second. That's what we would have. Well, junior second, morning shift and evening shift.
We had to face it. Eric Williams was an education
Yeah.
But the only thing is that the only issue I have with him is 1970, him banning Stokely from coming to this country. But when it comes to education, he had a push on that, and he transformed the education landscape. I mean, I have to say I benefited from it somewhat.
I will agree with you. I will agree with you, Uncle Tommy. That is in the 60s. But after Eric Williams, we had PNM prime ministers.
That's right.
But the PNM prime ministers and we had PNM government, but them wasn't interested in building college and higher learning education facilities. 99% of the higher learning facilities we have in this country is the UNC built. And the higher learning private schools, which part people had to pay for higher learning, which part people had to pay, was PNM financiers and them. But to build higher learning facilities, colleges and things, that the ordinary school child could pass to go, PNM wasn't interested in building all those things. 90% of the higher learning facilities in this country, it starts with Basdeo Pandey, 5 years alone, and Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Tell me, anybody outside over there could tell me some of the secondary schools and the colleges build on that Keith Rowley time.
Well, Rowley's a different kettle of fish. But Williams, Pandey, Manning, they did their part, and they made their mark when it came to the education in this country. And so did Prasad Bisesa. She made an indelible mark when it came to her approach to education. I mean, just look at the laptop program. That's highly commendable as far as I'm concerned.
Uncle Tommy, for you to get the opportunity in
higher Mr. Florida calling back.
Go ahead, take the caller.
Yes, Mr. Florida.
Mr. Tommy and Mr. CP and everyone. Yeah, Mr. Tommy and Mr. CP and me. Kiawis is Marbella boys, South boys.
Yes, sir.
And we know the reason why they get rid of Mr. Manning for, because Mr. Manning was trying to educate the African people in Trinidad. That is why he come out with Gate. And they get rid of the man because they didn't want that educated population. And we know this because he had all the lines, Stay Cool and all them places in Marbella, dependent on the PNM. But now these people, children, could afford to go to our school because I threw a Gate. And they didn't have no means test or anything. You didn't have to make no high grade to go in. But at least when you go in, you come out and they used to get employment in petrol trading. And in environs, we have all these sub companies and things from petrol trading like safety and paperwork and all those things. Even Trinidad. They used to do big business with petrol trading, so that all is our work circulated and they get rid of petrol trading and they get rid of all that. And the PNM supporters, I mean, see that and they get rid of Mr. Manning, but that was Mr. Manning's goal. And PNM people, you know what the man said? He going to lick a toe to get rid of it and everybody clap. The man who the same man who was trying to help you, Mr. Manning, they only went lick a toe for him. It's a sad day in this country. Eh? Look on listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Florida.
Uncle Tommy, I started to get interested in politics by listening to Basdeo Panday, and Patrick Manning. Patrick Manning bring out the dollar for dollar education in university and thing. You have a dollar, we go for a dollar. Your subject costing 15,000, you have 7,000, we put it 7,000. And Basdeo Panday started a campaign, free. And I like how the two of them is the citizens would have benefited. The citizens would have benefit from them pulling and tugging. We giving and we giving. Basdeo Panday, when he come in, he bring the dollar for dollar. And when Manning come in, Manning say, education in university. What subject you want to do? Taxpayers will pay for that. That was so nice to see. You know, Keith Rowley come and destroy that. Keith Rowley destroy that. Now you have to go university, your mother and father pull out the money. The mother and father pull out the money. I think it's the man who does make the Jumbie biscuit. They put you in charge at the university. You make Jumbie biscuit all your life. And you put you in charge of an education facility. You expect it to fall?
Sure.
And when we look at the kind of money taxpayers pump under Keith Rowley administration in university, children them should have free education. And if they're doing a subject and they want to do a next one, they should have the opportunity. PNM, grandmother and grandfather paying for that. It's taxpayers paying for that. But them operate like if that coming from them bank account. Everything that was beneficial to the citizens of this country, to mothers and fathers, so that the future of their children will benefit from it, Keith Rowley destroyed it and Penelope. Keith Rowley, Penelope, Weak Beckles, Faris Alwari, them destroyed everything that good we had in this country. Them asking for transparency and accountability. You know? That if you hear them talk with the news, as if them was never in power, you know.
Top of the hour.
As if when them reach in office, we will benefit so much. We children will have a better future. We will have better roads. Uncle Tommy, this government coming, PNM coming in 2015 and meet all the roads in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. There was campaigning and saying the UNC only paving road and building box rain. Them leave everything of us, everything just over 10 years. Today we have the most destructive roads, most deplorable roads in the Western Hemisphere. Not in Trinidad and Tobago, in the Western Hemisphere.
Leave it there, COP. Let's go to the topic.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life. And as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes, we're back with you. Listen to this right here.
No more red. No more red. No more red. No more red. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see us win. We want the brights again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch for you.
the previous Prime Minister had said citizens has been weaned up on government, and they were willing to remove subsidies, and that was putting pressure on people. And then they were saying, see, that was a strain on the economy. People were under serious pressure under this last government, you know. And then to hear how much people had contracts under the various programs, benefiting family and friends, and citizens were just struggling. It is very sad. What a legacy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Go back.
No more red. No more red. No more red. No more red. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see us win. We want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch for you. And we are tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, tired of proposals and all the excuses, tired of no water, tired of stretching at the lot, tired of the eyebrows rippling. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see we win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, me bye bye. Bye bye, bring bye bye. I'm a fight the We're tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, of the proposals and all the excuses. Tired of no water, tired of stretching at the lot, tired of the eyebrows rippling. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see we win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. Bye bye, penny, bye bye. We don't vouch it for you. No more red. 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 No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more shame, no more pain. We want to see the win, we want the brides again. No more penny again. Bye bye, penny.
Yeah, bye bye, Penny, bye bye. Thank you. You're here with us on Sunday Talk. Let's Talk Politics with COP and myself, Uncle Tommy, and you, of course. The number to reach us here is 973-609-6509. And as soon as you get in, share the live. Don't forget, share the live. COP, we're back. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're back. Share the live and don't forget to subscribe. That is important. Yeah, Uncle Tommy. You know we had a little drizzle.
Okay. Thanks for calling. Thank you, Miss Santa Cruz.
Good afternoon, Uncle Tommy.
Happy belated birthday.
COP and Wall Street, wherever you are. Uncle Tommy, are you hearing me good?
I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, COP, the GATE program was written by Faisal Karim when he was working with the PNM, was employed with the PNM. He wrote the GATE program for the PNM. And when Pandey came in, he changed it for the dollar for dollar, right? And then, well, of course, when under Rowley, Gatsby Dolly, and Anthony Garcia, they messed up the whole education system. They sent everything right back.
And Penny too.
It was coming to the end of his reign, where the education was messed up with the junior secondary school system and everything, right? Now, a lot of good people came out of the junior secondary school system. You know, you want to have ambition. Look how Alan Ram Logan always boasts about it. But you see, when you don't have ambition, right, these are you fall by the wayside, right? Now, recently, we saw where they were giving prosthetic limbs and so the program that started. But I want to ask the Indian government if they have any prosthetic brain and mouth that we can try distributing some to Amy Brown, any Marvelous Marvin, and the whole set of them who were very dumb, deaf and blind, just until before the 28th of April. Suddenly they all found their voices like it was hidden in some drawer. You know, they found their voice and suddenly they have an opinion on everything that's going on. And it's not even a good opinion. Not even a good opinion. Penny coming to tell this government now to sit and talk with the breakfast shed people. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they sit and talk to them? Because that money, that $1.something billion in rent and then take money didn't pile up on the 20, from the 20. It was building up gradually and only allow it to happen because of votes. That was part of all your voter bank, right? And that is why we only do that. Now you come in to advise Mrs. Prasad Bissessar what to do. We don't want your advice. You all are empty vessels making the most noise, so we don't want it. But what I want, and I am absolutely sure a lot of people out there want to hear, Penny said that she was invited to the United Nations General Assembly, right? I want to hear her speech. How come we not hearing it? How was she invited? We want to know. Like yesterday, I tell her in the market, I saw in Sour Market, and I told her, I said, stop deceiving the people. Stop deceiving the people. But she looked up in shock because she wondered why I'm telling her that. But she should know why I'm telling her that. Because they are still deceiving the people. Thanks a lot to Uncle Tommy and COP, and have a good evening. Later.
Thank you, Miss Sandra Cruz. Who's the person who's calling now? Call back. Call back.
Uncle Tommy, you see in every parliament, it is have a gallery. Which part the public can go and sit down and listen?
Sure.
Well, that big meeting at the Prime Minister are going to have a gallery, and that way Penny gone. And when ministers passing out, the CARICOM minister, she taking picture with them one time to say she in the meeting. She not in no meeting, she in the gallery. They waited outside the building and all kind of thing to see ministers and take out picture with it. That is what going on there. I see them dressing she up and showing movies with she as if Penny is some leader. Penelope Beck is not no leader. A leader don't see the government destroying the country and stay quiet. A leader don't do that. A leader that speak on behalf of the things that matter in a country, not to keep a blind eye towards it. And only speak when you're in opposition and you want to hold office. What kind of leader is that? A PNM leader? We don't want no more PNM leaders in this country. From 1956 to 2025. The only time PNM didn't control was under Basile Pane time, 10 years ago. All them other years was PNM. Mothers and fathers cry. Mothers and fathers lose the children. Hundreds every year. PNM was in power. Never care about them. Never represent them. Nearly every one of the primary schools in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, especially in the PNM area, is a UNC government building. If it do have a health center, it's a UNC government building.
Let's take this call. Caller, you live.
Good afternoon, Uncle Tommy.
Good afternoon, sir.
And good afternoon, your host, co-host, COP.
Good afternoon to you.
Now, before I make my contribution, I want to commend the Prime Minister. Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
You hear me clearly?
Go ahead, you clear?
I say you hear me clearly?
Very clear.
Nice. So, like I was saying here, I would like to commend the Prime Minister for that wonderful job that she's doing so far. I was very impressed with the artificial limb that they had a couple of days back. I saw the joy on some of the people's faces, adults and children, male and female. Right? Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So there are people who went there, who went to the churches and came out walking. You could see the joy in people's faces. Know that they can. It's a very good feeling to know that you can move about and do things for yourself and you don't have to be dependent on anyone. That was very commendable of the Prime Minister. Right? Very commendable. Also, not only that, but the wonderful job that she has been doing so far. A lot of people in various communities getting water in the taps. Right? They were not getting water before. Also, she removed the property tax. That has released other body from some of the most vulnerable people in society. Right? And to know that there will be no implementation of utility bills, higher rate, for instance, and WhatsApp.
Yep. Go ahead, caller. Are you there, caller? Hello.
Right, so I want to commend her for that.
We want
also,
thank you.
The budget is coming soon, and the most vulnerable people in society will look forward to some kind of ease. I want to take.
We lost you again. Caller,
problem.
Are you there?
Like you get an internet problem there.
Yeah, we lost them. Yes.
Uncle Tommy, these are scholars and them that use the eyes to see and they use the ears to hear. They can clearly see what this government doing. Yeah, what the man mentioned? People with 1 foot, they walk in a camper and they walk back out. Now they walk in a camper. They go with a wheelchair or someone of the family member lift them up and carry them. And they walk back out. Uncle Tommy. Some of them after 10, 15 years in a wheelchair, with a walking stick. That's so nice to see. That's the definition of governance, Uncle Tommy. And for these callers and them to recognize that, see that, and call in a program and applaud the government for that. I give them a round of applause. I give them a round of applause for that. Because that is not keeping a blind eye. That is highlighting the passionate part of our administration and government. We need people like that. And this program today, I would like to at least hear 2 persons, because I know all the listeners, 2 persons who get our representation and get our help. Call the program and say, yes, Say, yes, I get our assistance and thanks. And I look at call Uncle Tommy line 973-609-6509. That's for the people and them who get that representation, who get a hand, who get a foot, and they can walk today. Expose the neglect. Uncle Tommy, them was begging. Many of those people and them, that 800 that getting that assistance today, them beg the PNM for the past 10 years, for that representation.
We're Mr. Florida.
When we see some private organization, take the call.
Go ahead, Mr. Florida.
Yeah, I did Mr. Tommy and Mr. Supi and everyone. Mr. Supi, I agree with you. You know, but before I make my contribution, yeah, well, I just hope that when Miss Kamala go across to Venezuela, I hope Penny follow she too. Let me see if she go follow she. But this is why we need the programs. You see the programs that we have running now, Ground Report, I think it's Mr. Felix, TC and Heavy, and others. This is where we need the support from the UNC government to support them now. These are the things where these people could go and do videos on these people and highlight it. You give them the funds that they can hire who could go outside and do videos and highlight the good that the UNC doing, which the fourth estate is not doing. And this is what we need. And you know what I mean? Let me turn these YouTube, these social media vloggers and them into social media powerhouses to highlight the good. But everything takes money. And this is something that I always say. Mr. Tommy, I just always say it. We need this from them. These are the men, Mr. Felix, in Ground Report, these fellas, if them fellas get paid, them fellas will take it from the deals and they will go and do interviews and go around Trinidad and highlight the great things that the UNC doing that the fourth estate is not highlighting. Remember, it's not everybody privy to this information, because they can already check it out right now. PNM have a lot of programs on this internet right now spreading that propaganda, and them just do it 24 hours. After one is the next one, after the next one, and sometimes they go into 12 o'clock in the night with program, PNM propagandas. So this is something we have to highlight there. Mr. COP, when Ms. Kamala go to Venezuela, you go see Penny following she and hiding there in the class too. All right, look on this.
Thank you.
What Penny want to do? Penny want to take on picture with Delcio. Eh?
It looks so.
But I showed anyway, Tante Kamala going, she want to follow. She just she and meeting too. Follow the constituency where you representing for 30-something years as the most dangerous electoral district in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. That is a fact.
Let me play this voice note.
Uncle Tommy, you know what it is?
Yeah, go ahead. What you were saying, COP? You know what it is?
Yeah.
You were saying?
You know what it is? I just see that voice note over there?
Yeah, let me play it then.
Yeah, play the voice note.
Hi, friends. Calling back again here. I just spoke just now about a while ago about the budget of all budgets. And yeah, Mr. Florida, right, said, and he's correct, that the purpose of the purpose of the budget is to balance the economy, right? And he's correct. But my point I was driving at is this. Yeah, what I say now. What is a budget? A budget is like a phone you buy. After you go and purchase a phone, right? The phone is not effective until it is activated, right? And a budget that is going to be called now had to do is like activating our phone. It would then put things into place and perspective, right? Apart from balancing the economy. Now notice something, let me make a point here. Imbert is the one who destroyed the economy by a budget. Notice every time they call a budget, the people always suffer. It's never in our favor. But this is my point. The budget that in times past was never in the favor of the citizens. Right? It's always gas going to raise again, and I raised gas twice and nobody said nothing, and I raised it that third time. And when gas raised, everything raised. Right? And it caused a lot of hardship upon the citizens. Right? And then the poverty rate started to get higher under the PNM. You could see it's through him, but right? That when that lows, that evil man, scornful man that don't like nobody and nobody like him. And he's the one that destroyed the economy. And Rowley leave him there to destroy the economy, right? Both of them as partners in crime. And check that budget that the Dwayne always bring. It never in our favor, right? And that's what have all these food prices so high today and inflation so high. In Kamala time, she take about 700 items she take part of her, right? And she come in again. So you see, understand now, the budget coming into effect, right? Shortly when it is declared, it will be in the benefit of the citizens. Not that everything will happen overnight, right? But it's going to put things in place, right? A lot of things going to be put in place. You're going to see that. It will be, that's what I mean, like people-centered. Under Imbert, it was never people-centered budget. It was a budget for their own finances and the friends and all of that. And TTR, remember they didn't want to move. So you see, this is why I'm telling you. This is why I said, understand me carefully. The budget will put things in place. Not make everything happen overnight, but it will then put things in place in the Constitution. Right? Everything going to fall into place, and it's going to expose a lot of these evildoers. Know that for sure. All that is part of the budget in action. The effect of a budget, purpose and effects. And the after effects and the aftermath of a budget have a lot to do with the exposition of all of them corrupt officials, right? Like Alwari Rentals and Foster Commons and all of these other wicked ones. It's going to show up. Bless.
Yes, COP.
That man so true. That man so true, eh? Uncle Tommy, you see all the budget that Imbert passed in this country was to benefit friends, family, financiers, and them as the self-ministers. If you had to calculate, well, them they will come out in the audits and them. How much money government ministers, friends, families, recusal, and financiers make? That the budget right there. That the budget right there. That is 60 billion, the $59 billion right there. Because the stories we getting now, look the saying, Cummins, family business, was getting $2-point-something million every month from AGC. You know why it's $2-point-something million every month?
Wow.
You as a minister and your family and them business. Your family and business or your business, all of his family. All Borat living in one hole. It's just one securing and ensuring that everybody come home in the evening. If you want to look at the Wawawi, if you look at what he benefited, every year he had a benefit. The past Minister of Works, Tinanan, how they call him. If you check them, what them benefit from every year budget, that is the budget right there, Uncle Tommy. Why you think all we roads in a deplorable condition? Why you think we health sector in a deplorable condition? We schools was in deplorable condition. Because they wasn't using taxpayers' money to fix the taxpayers' country. So that the children and them will go to school, will have a proper road to drive. And When we spend 5% tax in gas for over 30 years, and after that 30 years, we don't have no good road, what you was doing would be 5%. Uncle Tommy, if the system, if the PNM did use the 5% that every time we buy a tire, we pay 5%. It was 12%. Inboard passed that law the other day when he was in office. If we buy a tire, we pay 10% more for that money to go behind road. When we put gas, we pay 5% more for that money to have a proper road to drive. For over 30 years, we're doing that. And we had the worst road. Plus, we give the minister under the PNM time $1 billion every year to fix road. And we had the worst road in the Western Hemisphere. What do you do with the money?
What's worse is we have a pitch lake.
Now what? We have 2 pitch lakes. We have 2 pitch lakes in Trinidad. We had the Moruga pitch lake and we had the pitch lake in Point 14. Many people don't know it have a pitch lake in Moruga too. Not big like Point 14, but it have a pitch lake in Moruga.
You mean Labre?
Yeah, but we have one in Moruga too.
Yeah.
We have a pitch lake in Labre and we have one in Moruga. And we had the worst road in the Western Hemisphere. And the countries that we pitch going to, they had the best roads in the European countries.
North America too.
They are the best roads. And it's coming from we country. But the PNM saying they love we so they take good care of we. Uncle Tony, it's sad to see the trauma that the citizens of this country go through every time the PNM in power. Every time the PNM in power, we go through hell in this country. Hell in this country.
I always say everything is for a reason.
And all the recusal for government ministers, wife, children, and family to benefit billions, millions of dollars. Why is
I'll take the call.
These ministers, they say that is right and that is fair.
I'll take the call.
Take the call.
Follow you live.
Yeah, Uncle Tommy, I call back.
Yeah, defender.
But I remember something more. Now,
no, it's not defender.
This last PNM regime was there for 9 years and approximately 8 months. So they read 10 budgets at an average of $60 billion per annum. So that will give you over $600 billion when they go back for media review and so, right? In addition to that, this country was on a lockdown for almost 2 years. Money was allocated for 2 years to various ministries. So that means that where that money went to, right? Besides, we're not seeing where the money spent for the kind of money that was allocated. This country was locked down for almost 2 years. Budgeted, all various ministries were given allocations. In addition to that, they borrowed $144 billion, right? And they cannot account for that, right? And poor people suffered. The vulnerable, the most vulnerable, old age pensioners didn't get any increases except where Kamala gave them in the last regime.
Quality internet is giving trouble. Caller, your internet is acting
you're
up.
moving about. Stand up one place. You're breaking up.
Caller, your internet has gone sour. Caller, your internet started giving a lot of problems. You need to call back.
But he was going right. He going the right road.
Yep. He was making good sense. But his internet is acting up.
Like $600 billion. Like $600 billion. Uncle Tommy.
Yes.
You see what $600 billion? $600 billion could mine the whole of the Caribbean. $600 billion.
Absolutely.
Proper healthcare, proper schools, proper roads. Keith Rowley administration spent that in Trinidad and Tobago in 10 years' time. And everything we have worse in the country. And you telling me citizens of this country, because them support the PNM, they say is a transparent government? Is a government that should be in jail. Every one of them should be in jail. It have no country in the Western Hemisphere can spend that kind of money and you see nothing for it. All you see is they have luxury home, fancy vehicle, and they live a luxury life. And they're not in jail. They're supposed to be in jail. And I will be very disappointed to know that a UNC government come in power and speak about so much of misconduct in public office under the PNM, and none of them may make no jail.
We don't have a culture of jailing politicians.
The same way how Anand Ramlogan define, I say, controversial charges and charge him and put handcuff on him, go in the home and put handcuff on him, and nothing come out of that. That was the truth of the matter, because they had an agenda to embarrass one of the most top lawyer in this country and break his confidence. But they didn't know that Billy confidence more. The same way how they lock you up is the same way. And what we seen under the PNM was 10 times worse. 10 times worse. I want to say that the lock up Anand Ramlogan for 10 times worse. Them supposed to be an handcuff. Not just spend me money, do what all they want with it. Govern this country as no passion and no care, no responsibility, create no opportunity for the future of this country, and look at just ride free just so. You know how much young men, Uncle Tommy, get locked up in this country. You see that 30 grams of marijuana they give me now? You know how much young men, responsible young fellas who working hard, good job, and taking care of the family, but they smoke marijuana, and they get hold with a little roll-on so under the PNM, and lock them up, and them lost everything, and the PNM self come and declare and give them 10 times more than they still lock them up for. They give them 10 times more than they still lock them up for. Uncle Tommy.
Sad. Very sad.
That's very, very... Uncle Tommy, the PNM is no good for this country. No good. No good. No good for this country. None. No good for this country. And Penalty Becker's worse. Patrick Manning, you did well. We condemn you. We condemn you. You lose office. But it's your own party that victimize you. Your own party. Keith Rowley administration. When Keith Rowley campaigned in this country, he campaigned as he will be a transparent prime minister, you know. That's how we campaign and become one of the most disrespectful black men in the Western Hemisphere that disrespect African people. He probably disrespect the Indian community. He disrespect the African community and give the Indian businessmen and them opportunity. And African people like he. African people say he's a good prime minister. Professor Tommy. So sad to see what we went through. Yeah, for 10 years. And a government that coming on trying the best. They asking question. The prime minister says she get about $100 million from China. They asking question, what are you going to do with that money? They asking what you're going to do with that money. Well, we sure none of you going to get it. The prime minister tell them in every fire station in this country, there are no tenants, nobody to see about, no mechanic, nobody to sweep the fire station, nobody to clean up, and no fire attendant. She will ensure that every fire station will have one of those things. She tell her what she do with the money there. Only still asking question. Only ask the question, how come fire service station in this country don't have a fire attendant? And only was there for the past 10 years. Penny, only yet turn wrong and ask the last National Security Minister, Stuart Young, how come over there didn't have no fire attendant? What he was doing? You do that?
Well, we see what happened in Arima.
No attendant. Uncle Tommy, the mechanic shops in the fire stations, that if something wrong with the vehicle and you know to have a mechanic over there to check it one time. Every time a truck come in, a mechanic will go and start the engine, look for any knocking noise, check the tires, make sure radiator them have water, make sure all these things, brakes, fuel, transmission fuel, make sure it have them things. The truck working again to go. It don't have those things. Why fire truck will be breaking down and out of service? Is when it's not maintaining.
That's right.
If a radiator don't have no water and you driving it, you'll mash up the engine.
This is true.
But if you have somebody over there to know that when a fire truck come in and the engine cool down, it have somebody over there to go and check the engine, make sure the radiator full of water, make sure it have brakes fuel, make sure the power steering working good, it have oil, make sure the radiator have water, check the dispads and make sure the dispads and them have good dispads, the brake shoes and them good. It have nobody to do that. And if it do somebody have to do that, it's some PNM financiers making some millions of dollars to check them. Why look how much police cars. When you pass by the police station, how much police vehicles we have in this country? Millions of dollars in police vehicle just pack up. Radiator bus, transmission going through, and it just pack up there. It just pack up there, Uncle Tommy.
Yep.
They have a big yard in Silot there that they just pack them up over there, and when they're ready, they sell out all for one of the friends and family, because the Chupides and them in Trinidad, them taxpayers and them, we go just take the money, we go just take taxpayers' money and we go just buy 100 vehicles again. That's what we went through. But if all them police vehicles and them take, all right, let me say we take a $5 million and we fix back all them vehicles and them. Fix back all them vehicles and them. That's a driving vehicle.
Yep.
Rather than we have it rotten down there and then sell a financer it and he fix it over and sell it, and it come right on the road again. Uncle Tommy? But the best part today is when I hear the people them speak about that limbs and thing that the government is doing right now and assisting the vulnerable. That part touch me. That part is a good part. And the PNM, it have many. I don't want to say this, but I just say it because this is COP. Many PNM supporters who vote against the UNC. And the PNM promised them, yes, we're going to assist you in that for over 10 years. Today, you see them looking for that representation from the UNC, and in that gathering, looking for that leg and foot. And my wish is for you to get first. My wish is for you to get through and see what representation is all about. And if you still go back and vote for the PNM, I am not to say. I just say, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Because it have people will get them thing and keep a blind eye. And the party would have begged for 15 and 20 years for that photo. Go back and just chuck the ink, chuck the finger for the PNM again. I say that ain't nothing. I say that ain't nothing. That is a constitutional right.
But look in your heart.
Uncle Tommy?
It's 8 MOU the PM signed when she went to New York.
8 MOU. You have them there?
No, I don't have them, but that's what was reported. She signed a total of 8 memorandum of understanding.
And we will benefit from that.
Yep.
The Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens of this country will benefit from that. And instead of the PNM has something good to say about it, instead of first coming, when you get quiet these days, since they exposing them, eh? But this next past utility minister, Marvelous, I don't know your name, I know your father. The kind of questions you asking, you shouldn't ask those questions. Or you should come out in support of the government. Uncle Tommy, if this PNM government did say, well, all right, this is a constitutional government, this government, they win election fair and square, they beat us. Let me give them the time to govern. Them started condemn the government and ask for election 2 weeks after the winner. Them asking for election and platform to call an election. They must be condemned. They must be criticized. And they must be exposed. Must be exposed for the destruction they created in this country. Uncle Tommy?
Yep.
As citizens of this country. It's hard to see, it's hard to stomach. Today when you see those past PNM ministers and them, the luxury life they live, the fancy vehicle they drive in. If I work for 10 years, Uncle Tony, I can't live that life. If I work honestly and get my honest pay, I can't live the life that they live in. To taxpayers. See the love we sow. They take good care of we. Only the PNM has a plan. Have a plan to destroy the country. Yeah. Uncle Tommy. I hope Professor Walshit having a good Sunday afternoon. He and his family having a good Sunday afternoon.
I'm sure he's having a great afternoon.
Yeah. And what after them callers and them? Where already? I want to hear. I want one of those persons and them that benefited from those limbs and them. All you call Uncle Tommy line. And if all you don't know, Uncle Tommy line is 973-609-6509. Be part of the program. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live. And subscribe. I don't know if all the plan to give Mr. COP horse today. But be part of the program. All who listening outside over there. Uncle Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. 428. You tell me 428 viewers on YouTube. And I can't get 20 hours left to call you and to be part of the program. Yeah? Thanks for lockdown and listening. But be part of the program. Call. Make all yourself known. Tell me if we're talking choppiness. Or if we just have a heart to condemn the PNM. Uncle Tommy, every road in this country. You see the front shield from the Honda City, them, the underneath shield?
Yeah.
Uncle Tommy, I bust out 3 of that. I mash up 3 of that. Driving in Turuba. In a year time, I changed 3 of that.
What part of Turuba you in?
And we have a PNM councillor, Carissa Lynch, representing us in Kokia Turuba. And all the roads inside here, dilapidated. 3 feet whole. And not 3 talk about 3 feet wide now. Depth, 2 feet depth, and 10 feet wide. We have inside here. We play park on that PNM councillor. Bush right now, that is not government responsibility or Hansing Narayan Singh responsibility. You know? That is the councillor for Kokia Turuba to ensure we have a clean community, the garbage them pick up in the community, the sporting facilities in a playable manner, and we get representation. We get none of that. None of that. Today the children and them can't even go and play in the play park inside by me over here in Turuba. The bush big taller than the children and them. And all of them tell me the government closed down CPEP. The corporation have a constitutional responsibility.
Mr. Florida calling.
Take the call, Uncle Tommy.
Mr. Florida, you're live.
Mr. Tom, good evening to everyone. Hey, Mr. CP, the only thing you're sitting in Marbella right now is dinosaurs to be running through all them jungle. We need that because there is some. You see, Marion Brown Stadium. I don't even get to see dinosaur when I was there this year. You know? But I say it might have a T-Rex or something running through in the field because there is a jungle. Yes, you must sing cool and things that feel like a volcano, Europe inside it. But you see, this is the vision with PNM have for this country. No matter what the vision for this PNM have for this country, the vision that PNM had for this country, but let me be more specific, the Keith Rowley administration was number one. Man come on national television and say make the rich richer to help the poor. So the poor don't realize under Keith Rowley, you have nothing to get. Wait for the rich to get richer before let the rich to be here. Don't ask the government to get nothing. But we as the government go make the rich richer, so the rich will give all here. So don't ask me. So that's why you say we of the government. For 10 years, you hear a prime minister talk about doom and gloom. We of the government. You depend on everything on the government. Tighten your belt. You cook if you don't get this. You cook if you don't get that. Looking for investment with corrupted people. You understand? Ain't looking for to diverse the economy. No way, no how, nothing. If you're trying to come out with a plan for agriculture, you have to do a means test, and if you're qualified. No grant, you have to do a means test to qualify for that grant. So he separated this society, he separated the wrongly-led administration, the poor on one end and the rich on the end, because it had no more middle class. So that is how he sectionized. But we, the citizens in Trinidad and Tobago, we only deal in the race. They must deal in the race, you know. They must deal in the economics.
Let me call you back after the show.
Who wealthy and who not wealthy. But we, the citizens, we continue the race talk by them separated through economic and who have wealth and who are wealth. You see what went on there, right? You see that? And right now, this opposition PNM doing the same thing. They're not separating it by the vulnerable and who have enough. They're going back to the race talk again. You understand what I'm saying? But if you really look at the facts of the matter is poor and wealthy. But we, the citizen, is only African and Indian. And when we go wake up as a citizen of this country, we need to wake up and smell the coffee, see what's really going on. All right, guys, look on this then.
Thank you, Mr. Florida.
Uncle Tommy, you see how you speak about Manny Ramjan Stadium? Manny Ramjan Stadium was closed down for 7 years under the PNM. Gate lock. 2 feet tall by 20 feet wide. Some high bombs so. Like it's like pitch growing there under the PNM. The only way you could go in over there, it had some football club, cricket club, and the children them could have pass through the back and pay the money to be in that club over there. Mothers and fathers, senior citizens will be walking around Manny Ramjan Stadium every morning, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and walking, exercising, because a facility like that, gate is open, and people go and exercise. That taxpayers own. That was taxpayers own. So it open for taxpayers to go and exercise and thing. Manny Ramjan Stadium, dilapidated, thank God. This Minister of Sports said no, that can't close. That can't close. Even though it was renovation, mothers and fathers can still walk and exercise over there. Children can still take up a bike. You know what children learn to ride? To learn to ride in that stadium, yeah?
Let's take the call. Paula, you live. Paula, you live.
Yes, Uncle Tommy, Abakayi. I won't be too long. I want to set the record straight, especially for some of the PNM tunes. Under the UNC, Asli Pandey, he never raised the price of fuel. Under Robin Smith, he never raised the price of fuel. Under Kamala in the partnership 2010-2015, they never raised the price of fuel. And when they raise the price of fuel, what it causes is inflation.
Yes.
Right? So on spot, and everything goes up. It will have a rippling effect on everything else. Right? Everything goes up. We call it inflation. And under the last regime, that's what we got. A man raised gas 6 times, and he said that they are riot yet, and everything that's going up. People can't buy food, they can't buy medication, they can't buy nothing. Right? And what the PNM does best is what COP was just talking about there. Erase.
Let me drop again.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Call dropper.
No, that's it. He's done.
PNM destroy. PNM destroy we all sector. PNM. We shouldn't even be thinking about the PNM. Every opportunity we have in this country. Once you're over 40 and 50 years, every opportunity you have in this country must condemn the PNM. Criticize them. If they do something good, say they do something good. Say they do something good if they do something good. But in your eyes, you see they do nothing good. Tell the truth. In my eyes, I see they do nothing good. They do nothing good. Manny Ramjohn Chen saying, Manny Ramjohn Stadium. You know what Chen learned to ride bike and it's to be playing in that stadium? Today, which part they play football? Well, thank God this minister of sports trying to do something over there and fix it back up. But that won't happen in 1 year time. That won't happen in 1 year time. A country has to have money to fix them facilities and them. This country don't have no money right now to fix them facilities and them. But soon, I expect my MP, Hansing Narayan Singh, to fight to make sure that we get back that facilities in working condition so that we can start to see sports, football. We have a Manny Ramjohn Stadium and the school footballs and then can't play football over there. We have a facility in we constituency in Kokia Turuba that has so much a bush, Uncle Tommy. And the PNM people them saying, well, the government closed down CPEP. CPEP had nothing to do with that. It's San Fernando City Corporation responsibility to see about that. And Carissa Lynch, as the counselor, she's supposed that she constitutional duty to fight for a clean community. Today, them blaming CPEP. When I watch Maharaj Lands and Gopal Lands, when I watch Gopal Lands and Maharaj Lands and all them hoity-toity, high-falutin community, the corporation, how workers working in all them constituency and them electoral district, in the PNM electoral district, in my community, the councillor abandoned it and leave it just so till the children can't play in the play park because it's bush. You're watching on the side of the road, all you're blaming the government and CPEP. We had to blame Carissa Lynch. Every things that affect the residents in Kokia Turuba, it is Carissa Lynch responsibility to bring some sanity in that community. You is the councillor for Kokia Turuba. And we have no representative. No, it don't have a Burgesses inside here could say, well, all right, Carissa Lynch doing the work. Nothing like that. I tell you, I burst out 3 underneath shield for my vehicle driving on the road. And when they come by me for election, Uncle Tommy, I never want to talk about this. When they come by me for election, and she bring an Indian man from Cuba and tell me, look, we had a vote for him. I say, how can you get this road fixed? She tell me, check David Lee. Why you not asking David Lee and he's the MP? I asked her, I said, but use the councillor. You have a responsibility to fix this over here. But because I don't know I a UNC activist, for 10 years now, that can't fix it. Because I a UNC activist, that can't fix it. I believe it will fix it. Now, Uncle Tommy, the destruction that the PNM created in the atmosphere of the Republican Trinidad and Tobago, it's sad. It's sad. Sad. Uncle Tommy is 3 minutes past 3. Uncle Tommy? I'm not hearing you.
Let me do the top of the hour.
Yeah. Take a minute now. Take a minute. I'll step outside and come back.
Alrighty.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life, and as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You're tuned to WZYE, the heartbeat of unfiltered truth. We're more than a station, we're a movement, grounded in facts, driven by integrity, committed to progress. We don't chase headlines, we create them. Decoding politics and current affairs to question power, not cozy up to it. From Laventille to Scarborough, whether you're in your living room or your commute, this is where perspectives collide. Divides dissolve, and tomorrow's conversations start today. WZYE. We originate, not imitate.
Fire! 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 Fire!
This is what we have to put up with.
That the PNM has found itself in, as the gentleman would have said rightly. Dr. Eric Williams, many years ago, said that every single member of the PNM is a propagandist of the PNM. And one of the first things I will do as your new chairman is to ensure that the propagandists of the PNM must be deployed on every nook and every cranny of this country, and we will chase them away on social media, and that the gospel of the PNM must be known to every single citizen of this country.
For Trinidad and Tobago to grow, PNM must go.
PNM, your days are numbered. UNC will take over. Trinidad and Tobago, yellow is the code.
PNM, them in too much bacchanal.
Them say PNM sleeping with the criminals. When PNM in power, the crime rate goes up higher. PNM break the country every time. When PNM in power, them don't care about them character. PNM bankrupt the country every time. Them say PNM must go far, far away. Never to come back until judgment day.
PNM who breaks the country every time. PNM, them in too much confusion. Them say PNM lacking up good governance. When PNM in power, more taxes is the order. PNM breaks the country every time. When PNM in power, it's for the rich to get richer. PNM bankrupt the country every time. Them say PNM must go far, far away. Never to come back until judgment day. PNM who breaks the country every time. PNM, them in too much corruption. Them say UNC is the only solution. When the PP was in power, the country started to prosper. PNM come break the country every time. When PNM in power, Lavantil continues to suffer. PNM bankrupt the country every time. Them say PNM must go far, far away. Never will come back until judgment day. PNM who breaks the country every time. PNM, them spiteful at real bad line. Them say PNM breaks the country every time. When PNM in power, criminals they appoint all over. PNM breaks the country every time. But when Tamla come in power, all corruption will uncover. UNC will make our lives live better. Them say PNM must go far, far away. Never will come back until judgment day. PNM who breaks the country every time. Government, your days are numbered. Yellow is the code. Trinidad and Tobago, yellow is the code. Vote UNC for a better TNT.
Yes, COP. COP, are you there?
Tell me what a song. What a song. Yeah, Uncle Tommy.
Yeah, let them take that.
I say, what a song.
Yeah, that's
a song with rhythm and rhyme and storytelling. That's a calypso.
That's for the sycophants.
That is a true calypso. Rhythm and rhyme and a storytelling. And everything that he speak about, every picture that he show on that, it is facts.
Yep.
It is facts. No lie.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
God for that. Yeah, you gotta get that artist. We gotta give him an applaud for that. Uncle Tommy. What do you think about the cricket? Oh gosh, Uncle Tommy. Uncle Tommy, you know, when Keith Rowley become Prime Minister in 2015, one of the first thing he getting in sports is the cricket. He say he's going to help West Indies cricket. He take the man who fried chicken, KFC. He take the man who does fried chicken and who have a chicken business and put it to lead the West Indies cricket. Look where West Indies cricket reached today.
West Indies
Look
cricket.
at where West Indies reached under Keith Rowley. We gone right down. Everything that Keith Rowley put his hand on, everything that he tried to say he going to govern on, it gone right down in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
What we had to give him for that?
Eh?
I'll give him this for that. I'll give him a boo for that.
Uncle Tommy, that boo. You know that boo is a number. Yeah. Everything that Keith Rowley put his hand on, destroy this country. And Beckles side by side with him. Watch all the destruction and keep quiet. And today, she want to be Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
When Rowley was in charge, they couldn't say a word.
Nothing. You need ambition to be a leader and to be Prime Minister. You need love in your heart. You have to have empathy for the poor and the needy to be Prime Minister in this country. You don't keep a blind eye for 35 years and watch the destruction of even your community and all the PNM constituency, and then want to be leader now and say you're going to represent them. Why you didn't represent them for 35 years? How come you turn a blind eye for 35 years and now you want to lead? Uncle Tommy, but I want to give up yet. And Carissa Lynch, the councillor for Coquet Toroba. CPEP workers, Carissa Lynch, don't work for the corporation. Forestry workers, don't work for San Fernando City Corporation. Or URP workers, don't work for San Fernando City Corporation. You work in San Fernando City Corporation on behalf of the residents of Coquet Toroba. When we want our constituency and our electoral district get the representation and for our play parks to look the way how it's supposed to look, clean, green, and serene, you had a responsibility to the corporation. That is why the people vote for you 3 times in a row, 3 or 4 times in a row. 12 years.
Wow.
As councillor. I expect you have nothing. She should have nothing to do for the first 6 years. But after 12 years, the community in the worst. You can't show and see nothing that's all right. The councillor did this over here. The community benefit from this. You can't see nothing. The only thing she do is plant some trees, and all the trees and then die down. And she put up pictures. She plant baby trees small so, and put up trees, post up trees. Like that, flowers done already. To show how the community go look. And she post up that in Uncle Tommy.
Wow.
How the community go look 5 years from now.
She don't agree at all.
And the plant and them is baby planted Uncle Tommy.
What a thing.
She must do something about that. And I will say it live. If you don't come in the constituency, you see how all them other councillors and them, the councillor for Gopal Lands, them have people walking inside there. The councillor for marriage lands have people walking inside there. But people inside there, in a PNM constituency, with a PNM councillor, we can't get representation. We will start to highlight the neglect of Carissa Lynch. It's time for this community to do that and expose the betrayal of this community. Must do that, Uncle Tommy.
I hear you.
This country, will be part of the program.
I hear you. The number here.
You tell me I still can't get one disabled person who benefit from them limbs and them?
Yeah, call in and let us know. At 973-609-6509. That's 973-609-6509.
Call a family, call a friend.
Call and let us know.
Uncle Tommy and Mr. COP want to know how you feel getting a limp and crawling in, going in inside with a wheelchair and walking out. Tanti Kamala take 10 out of 10 for that and I applaud for that.
I'm gonna give her a big applause for that.
Yes. Tanti Kamala,
you're live.
Ministers and them.
It's a question, you're live.
To represent the poor and needy.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Tommy and Brother COP and Wall Street, wherever you is this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, brothers.
Good afternoon, reporter.
Good afternoon to you, reporter.
Punji.
Oh. Reporter.
I ain't Punji.
He said, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I still don't know there was the 10 out of 10 for the government at the same time, but I have something I want to start highlight here. Now, Brother Tommy, I know how often it's get news from the capital of Port of Spain.
Every day I look at it on YouTube.
All right. But I want to tell the Minister of National Security, Home and Land, and all security devices and that, and you're going to see that Brian Lara from that. And good afternoon to you, sir, Mr. Brian Lara. You see, people taking this thing for a joke and feel this thing was taking place in Port of Spain on the Brian Lara promenade as a joke. I saw a clip going around where one of the citizens of the country that they raised their hand at the police officers talking to him, and the police officer hit him in the face with the gun. And they see what is going on. That will only happen because the behavior of these people on the promenade, all those behavior was rejected in the communities. You cannot be in your community and carry on with this thing. You cannot snatch somebody to be in the community. You cannot oppose it in the community just so they take that straight to the Brian Lara promenade. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Brian Lara. Listen to what I'm saying. The government of the day, the only how to save the citizens that use the Independence Square area to city gates. That is one of our main traveling hub here. That is our substation. Shut down every activities on the Brian Lara promenade until further notice. Just like how you close off COP. And how you plan to COP, until you close off COP. Why? Shut down the promenade, make it a passing area. There shall be no line in there. Too much criminal activities are going on the promenade. And you know what is sad about it? Right around that promenade have civilian camera right. How come you're not seeing the media houses showing you clips of people who've been snatched, roughed up, and been dictated things to? But we're not seeing these things highlighted here. CS3, TV6, what they're trying to do, make you see look bad. I want to tell you all something. it's a Port of Spain PNM run corporation. So you can't broad brush it about what is UNC. It's the PNM mashing up PNM area right now. Right now, everybody in Port of Spain in one little corner because you're afraid to walk in, you're afraid to walk there after 6. I hope I'm coming across clear. Are you all hearing me at all?
Yeah, reporter, who monitors the camera?
That is state. That is the state. Remember when they brought Obama here, they put down a set of cameras all over the country, and most of them is security device for the business public in Port of Spain. Duma, you know what I'm speaking about? Downtown Richard Duma, people free to call all in there, might not free to call out all here. Because let me tell you something, I want to say to the taxi driver from Chumaka who was applying his taxi, not a PH, a taxi, right in front of the express building, right driving across. 2 parasites and the promenade fighting and fencing bottle, and the fool so doted, he feels the tell so straight in a crowd that is in Port of Spain, and taxi driver flushed in the face, he was home still light up today.
My.
This is the thing that's taking place on the promenade, and people want to be calling, and I want to get in things that they don't know nothing about. They try to fix it. And after I deal with that promenade thing, you see new people who telling people that the price control in this country cannot reverse. If the drug and gas deal could reverse, we could bring back price control in the country. Because I want to say this by closing. There's no country on earth that end up at that time stage and corruption like the kind of corruption here and catch back itself today and floating well unless you make measures to reach the poor. But after watching that, I'm to be rocked. Brother Tommy and brother Wall Street and COP, thank you.
Thank you, reporter.
Good afternoon to you, reporter. Reporter always make nation building contribution, and I am since the other day hearing reporters speaking about to move everybody from the promenade over there. I support that, Uncle Tommy.
It makes good sense.
You can't go in any country in the world and see a Brian Lara promenade. But you can come in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and see a Brian Lara promenade. And wherever in the world it have a Brian Lara facility, you don't see it as how it is in Trinidad over here. When you look at Brian Lara promenade in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, all you see is a set of vagrant and homeless people just lying down, sleeping whole night over there, and then you have 1 or 2 some vendors coming and selling over there for bandits to come and rob them. And when you look at the city of Port of Spain, Uncle Tommy, the kind of money the corporation does make off of them vendors, the kind of price they charge them vendors and them, they make over $2.5 million every month from vendors. And you tell me we can't see where for them money does go? Taxpayers still had to pump millions of dollars in the Port of Spain City Corporation to make sure Port of Spain clean, seen, and green. And yet still vendors, you just ever ask yourself where their money does be going that the City Corporation making from those vendors? Who does where that money is be spending back? Because Port of Spain is the most smelly, pissy, smelly city in the Western Hemisphere. Nowhere else in the Caribbean, cities smell like Port of Spain. And Port of Spain, the city of Port of Spain, get the most amount of money in all the corporation, in all the city we have in the Western Hemisphere. Port of Spain get the most. Take the call, Uncle Tommy.
Let me take the call. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go
Uncle
ahead.
Tommy and Mr. COP.
Go ahead.
It's not Port of Spain, it's Port of Pain.
What a pain.
When reporter talking about it, Brian Lara promenade, the certain parts are down there, dark. Now, a lot of double vendors telling on the Kubernetes itself, they were looking for that, but that real crime done. Plenty you can happen, the sniffing and start cocaine. And let's say the people put up to rubber and Chinatown, with the PNM take away from black man and get to the Chinese. They never black tongue, you know. They never Chinatown because people spend there for donkey. Black people like me and you. The breakfast share a black business. For the last 9 years, PNM thief all that money, Rowley and Short Young and Obiaman Foster comment and then when you look at the black brothers and the man invest and open back that black business. If you ain't like your own, what if you're very much like you? Black people, something wrong with black people. The kids, they don't come together and support one another. You're going to support all kind of people. Look right in the back here.
Go ahead, KFC. KFC, you're breaking up. Yeah, now I can hear you.
I still lovely breakfast sharing. Why them black leaders and them who steal from the political for the last 9 years, bail them out and open back their business to them. They built all kind of 1% business, Chinese business, and then selling all the supporting black man and coming for them to march for CPAP and rapid, they keep black people to the bottom of the ladder. That is crime, because you're waiting a whole month to get something. You can't even pay rent to that. CPAP and all. You're working a whole month with for $1,500 a whole month. Like when the Honorable the Prime Minister look into that and try to bring back that program, because right now the place really needs to clean up until Christmas coming. That real push that all over the place and telling you. That's a nice lovely place. But to that promenade, that way the government look into that promenade and brighten the promenade and run all them government vendors and them all the promenade only cause just start crime and on challenge shit all over the place. Bless.
Thank you, KFC. Let's listen to this voice note.
KFC, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, play the voice note.
Good afternoon, Uncle Tommy and Soapy and everybody out there again. Now, first thing, the gentleman said, I don't know if it was a voice note, the company took out 700 food items. No, it was over 7,000 food items, which included medication and like vitamins and everything like that. She took the VAT off it, right? Now, the next thing is that a caller was talking about the push out Patrick Manning and the push out. Patrick Manning, look for that. Patrick Manning, look for that. I am no supporter of Patrick Manning for what he too was trying to do to this country. Patrick Manning was very disingenuous with that church in Guanaco. He took taxpayers' money to build a church for his spiritual advisor. $300 and something million. That church, you know how long people were telling me about that church before it came to it started being visible, because there was a lot of forestry around it which they would not remove it for people not to notice it. But people were noticing that the roads were being paved up to the church, lights was being connected, everything. He was very disingenuous. He took the drawings from part of the diplomatic center as part of the church and lied and talk about project manager. He had called a heart sitting on, I think, 9 skateboards and telling them, what, if you look sharp, I'll put him on more. No, Patrick Manning presided over a lot of corruption, right? I don't want to call names, but there was a certain gentleman that a lot of complaints were coming in on him, right? About, and based on the SAPCO report as well, pedophilia. Instead of reporting that person, Patrick Manning did not report him. He just did not put him back for elections, right? You distance yourself from him. When Andre Montiel took the money from, they gave the mortgage bank, they gave him complete autonomy. He took out $110,000 in shares. When Patrick Manning heard about it, he stopped him on the receipt, he put it back. Andre Montiel, in turn, sold it back to Calder Hart, who was then in charge of Home Mortgage Bank, and sold it back for 130 million, make it a profit of 30 million. Manning never did anything about it, right? Manning signed that MOU for Clico, bailing out Clico, and Karen Nunes Cheryl had 11,000 shares in Clico. She didn't tell anybody. She must have told Patrick, because he told them it was very, really shabby, right? And $11 million. And then she tell the rest of us to join the line to get back our money from Clico EFCL. Patrick Manning presided over a lot of corruption. You hear? But he kept his mouth quiet. But when Mrs. Passapi-Sessa heard anything from her members, and she sent them home, they used it against her. Look at how many people she had to send home, but she know why. She didn't want to be labeled corrupt. Although Keith Rowley went on a rampage about corruption and what happened under his tenure, from Foster Cummins, Faris, Camille, everybody, including himself, with the Integrity Commission and that INSA property. You hear? Too much of corruption went on under the PNM, and Ole must never allow Penny to tell Ole differently, because this is not a change PNM. This is the same deaf, dumb, and blind, disgusting, corrupt PNM. Thanks a lot.
It's the same PNM as Santa Cruz. The only thing, it changed from 30 cents to penny. It's the same PNM, but it just changed from 30 cents to penny. And when you look at it, Miss Santa Cruz, Keith Rowley fight down Patrick Manning and say Kola had getting only work and it's only Chinese people working and black people can't work. You know when he become prime minister, he put a Chinese man and about 9 ministries. He put the same Chinese man and next Chinese man and about 9 ministries and about 9 state board too. Because Theodore York was minister in the minister this and minister in the ministry the prime minister and minister in the minister this. By Attorney General, not Attorney General, National Security Minister and all minister works. And he was like the second prime minister.
Yep.
But he fight on Patrick Manning for that same thing. Let me call Uncle Tommy.
Yes, you're live. Reporter?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon again. You hear me?
Yes, reporter. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say good afternoon to the Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz, good afternoon to you. My dear, realize you didn't respond to not a word that I said, but I know you'll take and I know you will take part in getting that situation to the I know you're on the inside. You understand? But I want to say this. This afternoon. In various supermarkets in Trinidad and Tobago, you must get on board after the budget, because the budget that they call in Trinidad and Tobago that the whole nation is waiting on. In order for that budget to be very effective to the people and work to the development of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, there must be groceries identified that is going to work along with the budget. But let me tell you something. That people will not reduce the prices here because of the open free market. And that open free market is something similar to the Dragon Gas deal. If that Dragon Gas deal could resign over, you could retract that open free market in order to build back this country. Ms. Kamala Prasad is the Minister of Finance. Look into this, because before the budget is going to hear me talking more on it. Because all in our budget, potato prices over food. Remember, Trinidadian will just walk in place and buy just so and then complain. We must identify the supermarket. The government should get more involved in the supermarket. And because True Value is really a supermarket for the people. You notice they put a cloud over True Value and have a set of Chinese grocery and the massive stores, and you hardly want to go in True Value, you people. So to the management of True Value, we of this country will work if you join the government budget speech and the reducing of food prices in this country. If it take immediate effect inside of your grocery, there is where the people are going to flock. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, just don't sit down and complain about the budget just like that. We have to make sure the prices in the country as a citizen, we have to make sure those supermarkets working with the budget. Because let me tell you something, there's other islands in the Caribbean that need supermarket too. And if you all don't want to abide with it, you could just relocate yourself to somewhere else while we building back to that. And today we're going to close by saying this. Anybody on the chat, on the program right now, you can Google and find out if there's any country that end up in a crime scourge and massive corruption like this here, with this poor population of people and all that money, if it ever catch back itself, it never catch back itself. And the only way to catch back itself is to make this just make food of global place. Good afternoon to God and today.
Thank you, reporter.
Take 10 out of 10, reporter. Take 10 out of 10. Uncle Tommy,
yes.
When you walk in the Brian Lara Promenade, as a human being and a citizen of this country, what you expect? I expect a clean, comfortable.
I have a call coming in from KFC. Go ahead, KFC.
Mr. Washit, I don't go to me and COP. I know Mr. Washit Lockton. He taking the program behind the scene, not calling it.
No, he's.
But I think about that. That's something for the rest of the callers who say they behind the scene, the support going behind the scene. They come out in the last time and I say they like how the crime is going. And they're waiting for the budget. So they're coming out and talk. You know, everybody looking for the bread in a different kind of form. So look at that, bro. But Mr. Washington, I call her the general, but she said we sold that, but when it's too late, college, she got answer in sold that. I hear Warrior Princess calling she back to back and she answered and congratulated she. And butters up in the air. I hope you're not forgetting the ground supporters and the true activists, you know. Because you know, it's KFC, I come in and blow fire on them. Because I put in the work, I go there, I protest. When I was fighting, you know, all them meeting them in see them, no way. So just make sure I have KFC package in the budget too. Bless.
Bless KFC.
You have a package inside it to get KFC? You never used to listen to Pastor Google? The government don't owe anybody anything. That's what the PNM activists are never saying. No? The government don't owe anybody anything.
This isn't the same voice.
I expect when I leave South and I go Port of Spain, I should be able to sit down in Brian Lara Promenade on a nice bench and take up a papers and read a papers or read a book or sit down and watch a clean place. I shouldn't be, it's Brian Lara. I supposed to go over there and feel safe. You can't do that in Brian Lara Promenade.
Sad. This is into some voice notes before it get too late.
Play all.
Hey, Uncle Tommy, did you play my last voice note? I'm not sure. Last one, I said.
Yeah, I played it.
Yes, you give Brody Abu Aksi, do you want to give UNC and Ativa applaud and he didn't do it.
I played all your voice notes. And let me see who else has some more voice notes here. Let me see if I can get to them. All right, so we have voice notes. Let me just get to them. Get to the voice notes. Get to the voice notes. KFC. COP, is a pleasure working with you. Always a pleasure working with you. Let's get these voice notes.
Yeah,
Then we'll
let
take it.
the voice note and them come. Let the voice note and them come. It's amazing. It's amazing. A shock to know the kind of money.
Good afternoon again, Uncle Tommy, COP, and to everybody out here. I want to share something with you all that was sent to me by a true voice note, right? And I brought it to the attention of MP, Minister of Finance, Dave Tanku, as to what is going on in the National Insurance Board, right? Now, usually, if somebody's applying for sickness benefit, or as was in the past, I don't know when this changed, but when you're applying for sickness benefit or maternity benefit or whatever, usually you fill out your forms, you take it in, and you do the needful. Now, if you fill out your forms and you take it into the NIB, they are rejecting you because they say you have to have an appointment in order to submit your claims. Now, what you hear, you do this, I am telling all this something, the government changed. But you see, and I would call it the nastiness. The nastiness of the workers and of the previous government still existing. You want to tell me somebody's having a baby in October, due the 21st of October. I think she's already on maternity leave. Went in to submit her claims and was told she cannot submit it without an appointment. And the next appointment she's getting is December 2026. Now, tell me how that's working. Somebody please make this make sense to me, please. How is that working? What that's a person supposed to do while she's on maternity leave? How is she paying her bills? How is she looking after her baby? And she's depending on that maternity leave money. And they're telling her, well, when the mother went with her, the mother started to argue. They said, well, that was the system. When that system came into being, but you see, the thing about it is, we have not heard about it from anybody. And now we are hearing what is going on. We don't know how many people went through that. How many people suffered for so long in silence under what is going on under the national insurance. Now we know that they are taking long to give people their monies. And I too, since 2022, I have applied for reimbursement and I can't get it back yet. It's 3 years already. Right? It's 3 years and I can't get it yet. But I am calling on Mr. Tanku to please look into this. Because people cannot be expected to go on maternity leave in October and cannot submit their maternity leave benefits and so until December next year. And well, yeah, you know, how many appointments they have so. Thanks a lot and have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Santa Cruz.
That
Wow.
is a sad story.
What a state.
That is what the PNM, I how the PNM make it hard for people.
We take this call. Quality Alive. Miss Atlanta.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Atlanta. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tommy and COP and listeners. When I hear like that caller who just called,
Miss Santa Cruz.
and it's speaking, you hear me?
Yeah, Miss Santa Cruz is who was just talking.
Right, yes. Why do do people take things and put the tail between their legs and walk away? Who is the director of NIS? Under whose ministry NIS falls under? Why don't people go to the head of any, especially when it's our money to deal with? It's a citizen's money. If I'm going to you, it might be a problem because you're a private person, right? It is the people's money, okay? And when somebody tells you something, you don't walk away. You don't put your foot, or you don't. I wouldn't even argue with them. I take the name, I'll get the name, or go myself and attack the head. I always, and you all say things rotten from the head. So why, when something happened, don't you go to the head? Who is responsible? If you wait in 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 5 months, and all kind of thing, you have to get an appointment. You mightn't get it the same day, the same week. But if you can afford to wait years for something, make sure and get to the head, get to the root of the problem. You can't, a problem is not solved by the surface. It's like putting a plaster on a scar or ripped it up. I don't understand, right? I don't understand. COP, I don't know if you can help me. I don't know. COP?
Yes, hello. You go ahead, you're singing good. You go ahead.
Anybody call it in?
You know, Miss Atlanta, you made a very good point there. I would tend to think that Miss Santa Cruz said that she's going to refer to the Minister of Finance.
Yes, I want to refer, and I'm going to stand up there. Because you could refer for the 1 year and the 2 years and the 3 years. But I'm not talking about Miss Santa Cruz per se, you know. I'm talking about anybody in a situation with the establishment, right? With the administration. Go to the head. Why people always, they say this, they say that. I don't know what is my money, and my dealings is my business, okay?
Yeah.
And people have to take a stand. I heard COP saying some pothole and yes, this. Who is paying for COP damage? I think it's tires. Who paying for that? I don't understand that. Why the road is in that condition? Well, I walk in anywhere, I go out taking bus. Mr. COP, I want to hear you.
I will show you tomorrow. I will take out some video tomorrow. And I will show you.
He said he's going to take us some video and show us tomorrow what it looks like.
What's that? What is that?
He said he's going to take us some video and show us tomorrow.
Right, but COP too. You have to take that video and you have to take your tires and put it on the table of the head of the person who is in charge of the road. Put that tire or the bill when you fix a car. Even if nothing happens, I still have to do something. I am not taking that test, right? You have to, and those I'm telling us, because we can't help. You have to tell about, make sure they feel the pain you are feeling, not you per se, anybody I'm talking about. When you're feeling pain, the people in charge should also feel the pain. And you all don't know how to give the pain? I show you it's painful here in my voice right now. On the radio. And you must be feeling like, oh gosh, why should I go? You have to give them the pain. Make them feel pain just like you. Not you per se. I'm talking about the people. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Miss Atlanta.
If you want, I could help you, you know. Give me your bill and whatever it is, and I will give them pain.
Okay, Miss Atlanta.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Atlanta. Thank you.
Miss Atlanta, if I give you that bill, you want to pay that bill. But
whoever's calling, call back.
NIB.
Hang up and call back.
Uncle Tommy. NIB failed miserable for the past 10 years under the PNM. It have people paying the NIS. And when they done pay this about 750, I don't pay NIS. It's about 750
Hang up and call back.
And they're supposed to get the NIS after. It have people waiting 3-5 years for the NIS every month and they can't get it. Take the call, Uncle Tommy.
You need to hang up and call back.
Caller, you need to hang up and call back.
Call back.
Let's say good afternoon to all the YouTube listeners.
You're live. Caller, thanks for calling.
Mr. Tommy.
Hello.
COP. Hello.
Hello. Go ahead, make a point.
Yeah. I just wanna add to what Miss Santa Cruz said. Yes, she did lie. Because my sister suffered a stroke and she's supposed to get half of her NIS because she served in her workplace about 30 years. And she was saying the other day when she went to get GNIS, started to get GNIS, they cut her NIS down. I think 1,500 or less than that, I think it is. I can't remember the figure she gave me, but she said in that given, she's supposed to get at least half of it until she turns 60, which is next year. And so she not getting the full amount or the full half. She getting less. And she real saddened about that because she says so much of corruption going on in the NIS, real because she say making noise in the office because they can't get the money. And I think this government's supposed to look into that because people inside NIS is not friendly and they have that PNM attitude, Mr. Tommy,
Yes.
and COP.
Yes.
Okay, I'm listening on. You'll have a good evening.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Hope the right authorities are listening.
And Uncle Tommy, I know we don't have much time again, but when you look at it, these people that pay the NIS to get the benefits, and when time to get the benefits, they can't get it. Take the call, Uncle Tommy.
Let's take this one quickly from KFC. Right, KFC.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Washington, COP. What a good program today. I give it 10 out of 10. For Mr. Washington and COP, in the top people be asking for bread with all kind of fashion. They'll be under the table. They'll be at top. The whole in bygone and taking bygone. They'll be like me coming out and talking. I have to come a little thing in the budget. Nothing big enough. Why get victimized under the PNM? Well, the boss place she looking at it, but don't forget me now. Because pictures are coming up. All that is nice. What I want to smile. Christmas coming, and our things are handled. So bless until Monday and Tuesday, meet again and Tuesday.
All right.
You coming back on?
Tomorrow.
Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, he'll be on tomorrow.
I'm coming on Monday, Tuesday. I
said,
don't talk so
You too,
now.
Yeah.
Uncle Tommy, these is people them who pay the NIS for years together the gratuity after.
Hang up and call back.
They give them so much a problem, giving them so much a problem to get their benefits when it's supposed to be a easy thing. Lawari, he get all the benefits. He get the money in time. This next thing, Anana, he get all the money in time.
I've Anderson.
Take it all.
Go ahead, Anderson.
All 3 minutes to 4. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Anderson. Anderson. Yes, welcome.
Rashid, Kunji, everybody, good afternoon. I'm listening. I want to compliment the government for having so much of people walking again. And Ms. Atlanta, I went to the NIB already for a compliance certificate for my company. But they keep telling me, you gotta come back to us like this for like you feel you go came up 500 or something to hurry up with it. But I don't pay money to get nothing done. So I find it, I said I spend wrong. I said, what really going on in here, boy? I said, and people saying on your way to all this, somebody like all the putting on makeup. And I started open my mouth. A woman come from Bulboka, said I come out and attend to people. So a lady said, the security guard tell me I use no obscene language, yeah? But I have a voice when I speak about here that you could hear me. If you're deaf and all. I said, what really going on in here, man? I said, we're just getting up your face. I said, just read, but you're nice, you know. And I started, I'm calling police saying. So I told my son, mommy, she was there with me, and my driver. I said, about your station police number for me. So I called. Good afternoon, Sergeant Thomas. Or Thompson, Sergeant Thomas. I'm speaking Thomas. I said, Sergeant Thomas, my name is Anderson Millstone. And I said, I'm calling the police at that station for the workers at the NIB. I said, I call police, remember the police stay long, I call them police at 10. You know, I find the police staying long with a call, but the police staying long. And I don't make my little noise and thing. I reach by Mova Junction from Bataya by Maritime. And my phone rang. Mr. Wilson, the certificate is ready. Do you know what I'm telling you? I go in the hospital last year. They said I wait 6 months. Because I have some kidney problem. I decided to wait 6 months to get ultrasound at the government. I said 6 months after I go there. I said, where the CEO office is? I go upstairs where the CEO office. I meet Natasha. I met Natasha there. Me and Natasha go up together. Natasha now has her own car parking in General Hospital. And it shows that when you go to the top, when you go to the people in charge, you're bound to get through. You know, instead of waiting 6 months, I get it before 2 weeks. I get it before 2 weeks. Thank God everything was all right. But the ultrasound and everything. I got it in 2 weeks. So I was there watching some LLEs and some people say, oh God, it's only up and down and what. I said, I should have supposed to go upstairs. So in government buildings and industrial places, you go somewhere to a factory anywhere and you're having a problem, you ask who in charge. Or you open your mouth, you ain't got you know. And you ain't getting on the sorry, but you open your mouth where everybody can hear you. And you will get through. And when you bank, I just get through. Anywhere I go, I just get through. I had to get through as a citizen in this country. My mother and my father work hard. I work hard myself. So I have to get through anywhere I go. And this is something people mustn't sit on. You just surgery to do on your eyes. You tell me, man, 2028. No. Ask the CEO. Ask the chairman or some way. Ask our manager. And you will get through. But before I leave, Kunji, anybody that ever went last with Sleepers Airline, anybody who listening, you get the type 15 when last all the Sleepers Airline. I will continue to tell line, pressure line. As I used to tell you.
Anderson, stop at the hour.
That when you're going to court with Anderson Wilson, you will be going as a normal civilian because I just kneel down and say my prayers. I just pray. I just pray more than them Muslim and them. I ain't seen your eyes. But not my words. The words are Twiggy. Twiggy said, Anderson, Heinz Matthew and Charlotte Shita by Shepherd smoking a black. I don't even know why it's a black.
Anyway, Anderson.
And even that he does too. That is bad. But I ain't good for your health. That is cocaine mixed with marijuana.
Anderson.
That's my words. That's my word. So even that it is too special line. But that's update. You're getting small. People saying you had a sickness. You know the sickness of you're small. 10. Yeah, we just call it AIDS. But that's good program as usual, Kunji. Wall Street, continue enjoying your day. All of you all. Good program as usual. KFC, I hear you, boy. But KFC, we had a rumble and tumble just somewhere. And only thing I didn't appreciate too. Remember when I used to sit down in a house with a little boy? Yeah, all of another thing I'm showing. You don't lift them up, don't touch them too much and things. You don't for the Prime Minister. I look on and listening.
Thanks, Anderson. Wow.
This Anderson. This
That's too much.
Anderson, take that out of there. Nobody don't like a minister to be saying that on a horse. You really don't hear.
It's time for us to wrap up. Let me just play this last voicemail here, and then we wrap up.
Again, Uncle Tommy, to me and to everybody out here. I want to share something with you all that was sent to me by a true voice flute.
No,
right?
we played this already.
And I want
That's already, Uncle Tommy.
Shut.
Let me make my closing comment, sir.
Go ahead and make a closing comment.
Let
me do the top of the hour first.
All right, sir.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Okay, make it. Go ahead, COP.
It was nice being part of this program with you, Uncle Tommy. Thanks for giving me that confidence. And to all the callers and listeners and them, thanks to the 500 people that was locked on YouTube. Thanks for taking me into your drawing room, your radio, your car, for being part of this program. To all the callers and them, take 10 out of 10. And it's time for me to sign off. Time for me to go in the garden and do what I gotta do. It was nice being part of it. Professor Wall Street, I hope you had a wonderful Sunday afternoon with you and the family. And thanks for this opportunity. Uncle Tommy, we have much more of these things to do with me and you, Uncle Tommy. Trinidad and Tobago, have a nice day. To all the foreign callers, it was nice being part of the program.
Thank you, COP.
Uncle Tommy.
And I want to thank COP for spending the time with me. Professor Wall Street, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to carry on. We look forward to meeting again, God willing, tomorrow. Those of you who didn't get through today, you can check back with us tomorrow, please God. From 7 to 10, we'll be here, God willing. Till then, let me make my closing comments. Empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another and feeling with the heart of another. That's Alfred Adler. Again, empathy is seen with the eyes of another, listen with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. Like I always say, you're the man in the mirror. You have to become that change you want to see. But if you look in that mirror and you don't like what you see, you cannot blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving him a hand up. Love you all. Stay strong. Be safe. Wherever you're too hot, stay cool. Wherever you're too cold, get warm. And just keep loving each other. Good night. We'll go out with this.
Why as you say good night, I say good evening.
Okay, sir.
Tommy, you have
Laid to rest, laid to rest, laid to rest, laid. It's alleged, it's alleged, it's alleged, it's alleged. Hey, tell them Kamala say, PNM dead. Petrotrain workers say, the party dead, dead, dead. Bubba billions missing from the treasury. Corruption with taxpayers' money, the end is here. Security, PNM dead. Hey, tell them Munilal say, PNM dead. Even the 1%ers say, the party dead, dead, dead. They support us mourning and crying. Funeral arrangements they making, the DMO leaving. PNM dead. Condolences to the Balize. SIEP, no more pale pale. The rising sun is ready to govern Trinidad and Tobago for a brighter tomorrow. One, restart the economy, two, health sector, immediate victory. Abolish crime, put sports on the front line. Four, every pipe must have water. Five, roads smooth as six, provide people with work. UNC and making jokes. Tell them drilling say, PNM dead. Social media say, the party dead, dead, dead. The registered party members in pain. Scarborough, the Porter Spain, inside sources say, PNM dead. Tell them Arnold say, PNM dead. Police, army and prison say, the party dead, dead, dead. Election night, flambeau burning steady. The casket was on the hearse ready, read the red eulogy. PNM dead, dead, dead. Tell them Kamala say, PNM dead. Some of the members say, the party dead, dead, dead. When the CARICOM leaders hear what's up, seems like not one of them was in shock, put them in one big box. PNM dead. Tell them Munilal say, PNM dead. Teachers, doctors and nurses say, the party dead, dead, dead. All the bad investments and fellas make investors not coming for the work, no more ice cream and cake. PNM dead, dead, dead. The Red Party showed no empathy for 18 babies and pipeline families. They so heartless, citizens in distress. The country in a crisis, SOE and still lawlessness. One, UNC on a mission to correct the school system. Three, end poverty and clean up TNT. Four, speed up the housing process. Five, lower taxes. Six, revamp we energy. Bring back the oil refinery. Tell them Kamala say, PNM dead. Petrotrain workers say, the party dead, dead, dead. Bubba billions missing from the treasury. Corruption with taxpayers' money, the end is here. Security, PNM dead. Hey, tell them Munilal say, PNM dead. Even the 1%ers say, the party dead, dead, dead. They support us mourning and crying. Funeral arrangements they making, the DMO leaving. PNM dead, dead, dead. Tell them drilling say, PNM dead. Social media say, the party dead, dead, dead. The registered party members in pain. Scarborough, the Porter Spain, inside sources say, PNM dead. Tell them Arnold say, PNM dead.